房价，对，比如说你以前租的房子10年前3000元，比如租一个 flat，最高的可能变成8000元才能租到。
就像伦敦一样。
不过这2年可能又下去一些，好一些。
OK，
韩先生，Mr. Tan，你现在手上有没有要出售的中餐馆？
有一家，在富勒，在你家附近。
你还知道我住富勒，
那
记性太好。
你说过嘛？但他卖给他朋友，可能现在在交接。干嘛找中餐馆呢？
我怎么设置的没有背景？
设置成没背景的。再来看一下 setting apply background 关了呢。还有算了，edit 没有背景，这是更换背景。
可以了。
这是不乐。
不乐也好过没有，还有没有好看好看呢
？OK。现在中餐馆，竞争太激烈了。
有没有 UCL LSE 偶尔
明白。
别放。
这个
I to use my phone. That's
For the broadcast.
Yeah.
没看
见。
好了。这倒有一家符合你的，但不知道最近怎么样，有好几个月。
主要看通天然气吧。
对，那些基本条件已经够了。
厨房设备的。
厨房的自己设备还没装。
主要通天然气自己装设备。外需要装修一下是吧？就餐环境。
对。它是一个像零售店，然后改装的店，那个人本身就是电工。
老板就是电。
对，老板本身就
electrician。
对，还搞，但最近半年有啥动静？我不知道。
他是租还是卖？
这就是卖栗子。
什么价位的？
他那个我没有特别细的，他带我看了一下。后来我就没再跟进了，有半年了吧，都不止半年。
帮我问一下。
都快1年了，我到时候问。王桂圆麻辣烫你知道吗？
王桂圆。
OK，明白。
Hello。
哎。
你新来的吗？
我之前参加过。
OK。
几次。但中间有一段时间没过来。
OK。
我放本书啊。签售。
可以看，那儿也有。
好厚啊。
那你帮我留心一下，帮我问问。
行。
如果他 that store is still available， 就发给他的 postcode。
可以。
和面积 square meter area square meter square feet。
你这 surname 很好记呀、
Sure. Main. It's a good name, isn't it?
I never heard this surname before.
Really?
Yeah.
It's funnily enough, it's not actually. It's not really that common name.
Yeah.
I actually have an interesting story with this name because I changed my name.
Yeah.
So I had my dad. So in the West, we take our fathers. Well, in the UK, we take. I shouldn't say the West because countries like Spain take both their father and the mother. In the UK, we end up children, whether you're a boy or girl, you have your father's name, right?
Yeah.
So if your dad's name is John Smith, the child will be called James Smith, Bill Smith, whatever. So I had my father's name, which was Franklin. But for a story which I won't go into for the sake of tonight, but we're going to start shortly. Long story short, I changed my name to my mother's name.
Okay.
But like 2 generations back, so like her grandfather, my mum's grandfather's name was May.
Okay.
And they're from the north of Scotland.
Okay.
Fishermen from the north of Scotland. So, and I changed my name to that. Right. And that works really well because it's a good name, right? Matt Main.
Yeah.
Easy to remember.
Sure.
So before it was Franklin, so it was Matt Franklin.
Okay.
Now it's Matt Main. So there you go. There's a story behind everything.
Right on the time. Right on time. I'm the first. 你叫啥名字？朱琳。朱琳。朱琳，sorry。朱琳。朱琳，我叫贺强，英文名是 John。John，哎呀，强很像哎。很像。是 Flora。Flora。Nice to meet you。
克强跟 John 怎么能是很像？
John 还是
那样的，明白了。
对，原来也读一些圣经，就觉得 四大福音书嘛啊，新约 New Testament John， Matthew Paul the Book of John， 我跟这边取一个强。
It's funny you say that because the lady that's coming in, I met at church. The lady that's just arriving, I think she must have gone to the bathroom. Shirley, I know her from church. So
Sure.
John is a good biblical name.
Start.
We start?
Yeah.
Okay.
然后我看一下有没有群里面有没有人，
我没上网了，
不用上网是吗？
我没信号。
Just before we start, Stanley, I put the phone here
Yeah.
for the broadcast on Zoom, so that wire, so I can kind of move around, because otherwise I think that I would have tripped over probably at some point.
As well as battery.
No, there's plenty of battery, 95%. So.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, 欢迎来到... No, I'm not going to speak in Chinese tonight. I'm not going to do Chinese. I do speak Chinese, but it's rusty. It's rusty. So I'm not going to use it tonight. Maybe a few words here and there. I'll surprise you occasionally. But no, thank you so much for coming and joining this evening, this workshop. I'm really looking forward to it. I can tell that you're all dying to know how to be better public speakers. And just a little backstory. So it's really cool that I'm here this evening, and thank you. I just want to start with an acknowledgement to Stanley. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to come and present this evening and share what I'm passionate about in life. In life, the key... Sorry, no worries. The key is to find what you're passionate about and do that thing, right? That's the key. If you can do it, it's not always easy.
No, I just watched the Richard book that you somebody.
Okay. Yes, yeah. No worries. I'm going to start with a word that I only learned a couple of days ago. So I will be shocked if any of you know what this word means. I'll be genuinely shocked. In fact, my book, which if you want a copy you have to buy for £14, I will give you a free book if any of you know what this word means. And the word is glossophobia. Glossophobia. I reckon that one of you at least will have a clue of what the word means. And I'll give you well, it's probably, I fear that it's probably, the second part of the word is phobia. So who knows what phobia means?
Fear.
Fear. So what is glossophobia?
Gloss.
Gloss, yeah. O, glossophobia.
Gloss means the words, the terminology.
Yeah, like you're thinking like glossary, a glossary of terms. So it's something to do with words. That's a very good... You can see why this man's very intelligent man. So what's it the fear of? Glossophobia is a fear of something.
Fear of the terminology, words, or some
that
spatial category.
You get half a book, John.
Maybe you mean the fear of the term we use in the speech.
Yes. Together we've got there, yeah. It's the technical term for the fear of public speaking. It's the technical term for the fear of speaking. And I was looking that up because so what I got is I pulled off 10 fun facts or interesting facts and trivia about public speaking. That was the first one. Glossophobia is the technical term for the fear of public speaking. Did you know that the fear of public speaking is actually greater than death for the average person? People fear public speaking more than they fear dying. That's how intrinsic this fear is, that it goes deep down. Like we just have this strange sort of aversion to public speaking. when I was young, I was a part of a church, not the church that I know Shirley from, a different church. And as a part of that church, we had to speak regularly in front of the whole congregation. In technical terms, when you're talking about church, you call it the congregation. That just means the audience. But in church, every word has a specific word that we like to use, like a song is a hymn, right, in church. And I used to have this fear of being in front of 100, 200, 300, however many people, so much so that I would literally be like shaking. You know, has anyone ever experienced that? You've been so afraid or you've been so fearful of something, I'd just be like, and it put me off from really throwing myself into the church for many, many years. And I just kind of didn't want to get involved because I knew that I'd have to do this public speaking. And then at some point, something changed in my mind. And I can't even remember how it happened. But I was like, I love public speaking. This is great. Getting in front of people. And a few more stats for you guys before I get all of your participation. So this is going to be an activity-based workshop for the next 90 minutes, guys. So get ready. I hope you're ready for interaction. When we are public speaking like I am now, and you guys are all going to be doing shortly, it's actually the same physiological state, the same state of our body goes into as when you're in a boxing ring, right? Because it's the basic fight or flight response that you go into. You're on stage, the light's on you, and it's like, you know, you're either going to go in and go, yeah, right, okay, let's talk, let's go, or you just kind of want to shrink away. Body language. Has anybody ever heard any stats around the ratio of your message as a total? How much is what you say versus how much is your body language? Does anyone ever heard of that?
Over 60 to 75% from the non-verbal language, that is body language.
Yeah, that's a really good shout. So depending on what stats, because it's like lots of things, it's not a perfect science, but there's lots of stats. But as little, if what you're saying is complex or something like that, for example, what you actually say can be as little as 7% of the message. And the other 93% is how you say it, one, and two, the physical posture that you've got, the energy that you're portraying, etc. So that's something that's really cool to understand. And we'll talk about that a little bit later, is about how we present ourselves. So hopefully I'm being a good example tonight and I'm not kind of speaking like this. So you have to, you know, chin up, head up, be confident, be brave. Fear is never fully goes. That's another stat for you. So this book is a great book. So not quite as good as my book, but this book, unlike my book, has sold millions and millions and millions and millions of copies around the world over the last 40 years. It's called Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway. And this is one of the first books that I read in personal development. And you know the term personal development, right? Just books that help us learn about ourselves, about life. A lovely American lady wrote this in the, I think, late 80s, 1980s. And this is one of those great books that actually says on the title, you can basically learn just from reading the title, feel the fear and do it anyway. And that really is the key to life as well. That's another thing that's not just about public speaking, it's about anything. You have to feel the fear and just do it anyway. Because guess what? As she says in this wonderful book, the fear never leaves. So if you're waiting for the fear to go, well, you'll be waiting your whole life because it never goes anyway. And even once you've done something many, many times, you can still have fear. Is anyone here a tennis fan?
Table tennis.
Of course. You know, one of the things is you have to speak to the crowd. I forgot that you guys are all Chinese. Table tennis, of course. Ping pong xiao. I love ping pong xiao. I also like wang xiao. And tennis, there's the best player in the world, Novak Djokovic, who I've seen several times at Wimbledon, at the O2. He was saying as recent as, I can't remember, the Wimbledon final this year or something, he said, oh, I felt really nervous. And you're like, what? How? You're 24 Grand Slams, the most successful player in history. How can you be nervous? No, because it's a normal human condition to feel nervous. I don't actually feel nervous tonight. I don't know what that says about tonight, but I actually feel very calm and confident. But I often get nervous at the strangest of times. So nerves is not a bad sign, and we'll go into that a little bit more as well in the next hour. So that's enough with stats. Everybody, please stand. If you can, if you're able, please stand up. And we'll just get everyone to just introduce yourself to the group, say your name and a fun fact about yourself, or something interesting, or anything, something about your day or what your dream holiday is, anything you want, just something to break the ice. Who wants to go first? Oh, Stanley. Yes, that's it. Confidence.
Yeah. My name is Stanley.
English names, yes, Stanley. If you don't,
I want to share that when I went a scenario when I went to an event, a manager that is pitching the product. What she say one sentence impressed me so until now. Say, if you don't believe in your product, no one else in this room will believe. I think if you don't believe in yourself, no one else will believe you. So you need to be confident.
Absolutely.
That's what I want to say.
Fantastic. Brilliant. Yes, 100% agree to that. You've got to believe in yourself and in your product.
Otherwise, no one else will believe.
Absolutely. Wonderful. Who's next? You don't have to do it in order. Come on, who's next? Jishu. Shaiga.
Yeah, so my name is Guangxiu Ma, and for the fact, honestly, I'm not, I don't know, I have anything in mind, but maybe I just share, so we are in the same club of running club.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, so we really like very much running.
Oh, nice.
Honestly, for me, it's really an important part of my life, and from each training, each running, I really get relaxed and get recover from the mental tiredness of the work, and it really make a big difference for me in my life.
Oh, fantastic. Wonderful. Yeah, running's really great. And it's something you can do as a group as well. I really admire that Stanley has started his running club many years ago, and I believe that some of you are from that club, so that's fantastic. Yeah, wonderful. Thank you. Who's next?
Can you imagine if you sell vegetable with your mom when you were 4 years old? That's how I end up.
4 years old.
Yeah. So I like the business. My name is Peter.
Selling vegetables at 4. That's incredible. Who's next?
You get used to speaking public. Speak loud.
Yeah.
I have a fear. I do it anyway.
That actually reminds me, when I was in Beijing, I lived in Beijing, for those that don't know, for 3 years, and I do speak Mandarin, but it's rusty because I don't speak it often day to day these days. But I always remember my girlfriend at the time when we went to the bird's nest, Niao Chao, yeah. And there was this lady, and she was just shouting and screaming, going, Lao Hu, Re Hu de Lao Yumi. And I was like, what? And she said, she's like, sweet corn, hot sweet corn. And I was like, oh, nice. So no, that just you gave me flashbacks. Great memory of hot sweet corn in Beijing. That was great. Yeah, you go.
My name is Julie. I came here was because Matthew, because I know him, I want to support him, but also to learn to speak good in public because of my personality. Is I graduated my parents are teachers, so they're very strict. So I'm not get used to speak in public because I think at that time, especially when the parents are teacher, they encourage girls to quiet, gentle, not really speak loud in the public. So I found in many occasions I have to challenge myself, to force myself to speak in public, but still, even nowadays, I still feel a bit scared. Especially if many people on the stage, I don't know, I will immediately, I have a very red face. And I find it's very difficult to express myself in public. So I hope today.
After tonight, you're going to be walking out. You're going to be on the tube, going home, going, guys, I've got a message for you all.
Hi everybody. My name is Idmo, and I came here because I want to improve my oral skills, and I've been invited by Matthew to message me on WeChat. So I came here, and did you mention to tell everybody the fun facts about myself?
About you?
Yeah.
Oh no, that's for you. That's your job to tell everyone the fun facts. Yeah.
Something like the daily interesting stuff.
Like, have you ever skydived? Have you ever jumped out of a plane, or have you?
Not really.
No. Okay.
No. Maybe the funny thing about myself is whenever I choose a flight, over 90% they are delayed. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So basically, never take a flight with six. Never go on a plane with him. Oh gosh. Well, your luck's going to change. Your luck's going to get better. We're all praying for you. Thank you. Great to have you.
Okay, so hello everyone. My name is Lin. So I'm working as a quant analyst to analyzing stock market every single day. But a fun fact is I never invest the stock market by myself. Yeah, only invest on ETF, those index. Yeah.
So you only play with other people's money, never with your own money. That's smart. That's actually very clever. That's a good thing.
But we can do it. But
That's great. Good to have you, Lynn.
Hi, I'm Flora. I'm sorry, Russ will introduce myself. So I compare to how to use body language.
Yeah. Well, you're using it. You're using it. Fantastic. And what's a fun fact about you, or something you like, or a hobby? Tell us one thing about you.
Puppy. I just only hobby is hair.
Oh, puppy.
Yeah, just a Bichon.
A Bichon Frise. 8 years.
She's my daughter.
Oh, wow. Daughter, but very hairy. Hairy daughter. Yeah. Oh, that's lovely. Bichon Frises are beautiful.
Hi everyone, my name is Shirley. I got to meet Matt at my church, and so Matt invited me to come here today. A fun fact about myself: I lived in Australia for 30 years before coming to London 3 years ago. So I'm from Australia, and during COVID, I camped all over Australia for 10 months. So if you ever want to go to Australia, I can be your guide. I know everything about Australia.
Oh wow, you've got to take that offer up, guys.
If you want to go camping, be a great advisor for camping in Australia.
Fantastic. That's excellent. When I was in Beijing, so Chinese people always ask the same questions. That's not a bad thing. We all do. I ask the same question. I just mean, it'll be clear when I explain. So when I meet a Chinese person, you speak English? What's wrong? Yeah. Beijing, yeah. Oh wow. What did you do when you were in Beijing? And of course, you'll say, you taught English, didn't you? Everyone teaches English when they're a foreigner, they go to Beijing. I said, yes, I did teach English, actually. I taught English for the first sort of 8 months, 9 months. And then I sold property. Well, no, before property, I did voice recording. So I was a voice recording artist for an education company in China, in Beijing. So there's probably lots of little kids in China walking around, with my accent, English accent, going, oh, what's that? That's a dog. And then I sold property. And guess where the property was that I sold to people in Beijing? It was Australian property. But my secret is that I never even went to Australia. And I learned so much about Sydney and Melbourne that I could talk. I can't remember now, it's 10 years ago, but the Yarra River down in Melbourne and St Albert's Park and all this, and people were like, oh wow, this sounds so amazing. And like, have you been to Australia? I'm like, no. Anyway, sorry, my history, it's a very funny life story. Sir, good to have you join us. We're just doing a 1 minute introduction of each person. Please tell us your name and one fun fact about yourself, or something interesting, or your hobby, or anything.
Okay. So, hi everyone, my name is Edward. I probably meet some of my friends already here before. So, I'm been in the UK for 12 years. So I think one interesting thing is, oh, you know what? One interesting thing is I've never been to Beijing as a Chinese people.
Oh, wow. No. So I've not been to Australia. You've not been to Australia. We'll start a chain here of like, oh no, I haven't been there, and okay, well that's good. So you've got some on your bucket list. You know, in English we say on your bucket list. You have to do that. That's one of the things you have to do. Beijing is such a beautiful place. I saw on my WeChat recently somebody posting of the Great Wall of China, and it's just like, I remember the first time I saw the Great Wall of China, I was just like, how's this possible? How could they actually build this? Even if we built that today with modern technology, it would still be mind-blowing, right? It would still be incredible. But to think that it was built 2,000 years ago, like with no mechanical machinery and big trucks and things, I mean, it's incredible. So really good to have you. Guys, please take a seat for now. Thank you so much for the intro. I thought you started. Oh no, Stanley! Oh no, Stanley! Oh, there you go. See. Oh, okay. You take over, Stanley. John, please. The last. We save the best till last.
English name John, Chinese name Qiang, international education advisor, consultant. I'm running my own company, small company. It's called Deserbi Education. Committed in supporting overseas Chinese student who wants to find a secure study place in private school, independent school, universities. Yeah, so that's me. The funny thing, maybe 10 years ago, I want to celebrate a little victory. I felt a little proud of myself. I swam across a river. It's about 5 kilometers. Okay, we went to the island by boat. Then after we ate something on the island, the boat came back. But I said I can swim across. I can swim across. The boat sailed away with my children. So disappeared at the horizon. So I have to swim across. When I get on the bank, I try to celebrate my little victory. I step on the broken glass.
Oh no!
On the bank, under the water. So I came up like this. So I think it's very funny.
Oh gosh!
Like a user.
So I have this picture that you started celebrating just a tiny bit too early. You were coming up out of the water going, yeah. And then John, you're a warrior. There's a good word in Chinese, 战士. Yeah, and you're a warrior. You came through. Guys, thank you so much. I don't know whether this who's broadcasting? Maybe I think there's one person on the call. Maybe we'd love to have them say a few words as well. We don't want to leave anyone out. One of the most important things, guys, that you can do when you're in any meeting, any events, is try and make sure that everyone feels very special and a part of what we're doing. So if the person's broadcasting, joining us, the broadcast on Zoom, and would like to say a few words, if we can get that to happen, but if not, no problem. Just while Stanley's looking at that, one of the couple of things I was reading off 10 little bits of trivia and facts about public speaking. The most important thing, talking about some of the terms, some of the fun things, is to remember that just like you can get better at it. It's not just an innate or unique talent that you just have, and then, oh, that person has it, but I don't have it. No, you can learn it. I always remember my my girlfriend in China, Chinese, of course, and she was a singer, and she works on things like Zhongguo Mengzhisheng and things like that, and like all the big shows, and she goes to all the big stadiums and stuff. And I always said to her, I said, oh, you've got such a beautiful voice, and I can't sing, and I love to sing, but I can't sing. We go to karaoke, KTV, and she's just, and I'm just like, and I said, it's not fair. It's not fair. We'll go on here. And she said, how dare you? Not like this, I'm being obviously theatrical, but she was like, I worked really hard to develop this singing skill. I wasn't just born with it. I couldn't just sing like this just from day one. I had to work on it. So that's a silly anecdote, silly story, but to make the point that just like singing, public speaking, we can learn it. It's very possible. So hopefully we're all going to learn some more tonight. Hopefully you're learning already. Just very briefly, just to give you guys, I kind of already talked about myself just a tiny bit, but who am I? Who is Matt Main? So one of the key things that's really helped me to develop a great love and a great passion for speaking in public is that I've done a lot of sales. So if you want to become a good speaker and a good communicator, go and sell stuff, because you can't sell anything if you don't open your mouth and you don't learn to go, well, hey, look, I've got a book, come and buy my book. So I've sold property in China, like I said. I've sold pens and paper here in the UK. And one thing that I did, and Shirley mentioned it, we know each other from our church, and we met recently, which was lovely, through our church, is that I went on something that we call a mission, which is, 2 years, and you go away, and for the whole time you're just going and knocking on every person's door in the city. I went to Scotland, where I'm originally from, where my mum's from the north of Scotland, and knocking on people's doors. Hello, sir, God loves you. Shut the door. Hello, sir, God loves. And then eventually, after about 1,000 doors, he'd be like, hello, sir, God loves you. And you'd be like, are you okay? I've been knocking doors all day long. Come in and get you a cup of tea. And then it'd be like, will you come to church? No. Oh, okay. So that's a little bit about me. I've always loved performance. My book is a daily reader. Every single day, you get a page to read, and it's a lovely thought, a positive message every day. And it all starts with film quotes. So you get a film quote from all the great films like Lord of the Rings and Star Wars. So I've always just had this massive love of theatre and of performance. And the final thing I'll say about myself is that my goal is to one day speak at Wembley Stadium. So you guys have the Bird's Nest, which is a beautiful stadium. I went to see Beijing Guoan play football there. And Arsenal, when they were travelling, Arsenal and Manchester City or Chelsea, I can't remember. But my dream is to speak at Wembley Stadium one day and to speak to 90,000 people. So that's my dream. My most prestigious talk thus far is that I did an event with a company called Alternatives. And Alternatives have had people like Eckhart Tolle and Deepak Chopra and Marianne Williamson. She was trying to be the US president at the last term, but she didn't win her, whatever it is, the primary. So that was a very huge honor. So I'm getting there. So without further ado, I'm going to move on to a little bit of just us to start looking at what is public speaking. What is public speaking? Well, it's quite simple, right? We're public speaking all the time. Anytime that you get up in public with other human beings and speak and say something, that's public speaking. So one of the reasons why I love the whole learning around public speaking is because it's so necessary. It's a vital component of what we're doing now in modern life in 2025, almost 2026. Where's the year gone? Right? We need to learn the ability to be able to, your young friend and associate, Derek, who works here in this building, and he's a co-founder of a business, and he was just saying before our session started, and he said, I've spoken to a few people in this room, and I know that soon I'm going to have to speak to, big conferences and things like that. And he's like, oh gosh, it's just a part of everyday life now, isn't it? You're selling vegetables, selling property, doing a public speaking workshop. Like, we have to get up. So you can either run from that, right? Going back to the fight or flight, you can either run from that and just say, oh, I'll just try to always avoid it. Or you can lean into it, right? You can lean in and say, yeah, let me try to get better at doing this. So I'm going to put it out. We've kind of already started to talk about it, but does anyone want to share about when you are public speaking, what your experiences have been? Just short answers, but who here is currently doing public speaking in any setting? By a show of hands. On a regular basis, who here is public speaking?
I don't know if the meetings with colleagues.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, no, that counts, of course. Yeah, so you're public speaking. Yeah, so your hand should be up. Yeah. No one else? No one else is publicly speaking regularly. Once a month, let's say, as a groups at church, in your business, leading a team. You must be, because you do these events every week.
I speak.
Yeah. And what are the biggest challenges that you face? I presume that some of you have some challenges. Otherwise, why are you here? You'd be perfect public speakers. What is it that you want to learn?
I think my challenge is I speak not in logic. After I speak one or two sentences, other people don't follow. You don't know what my purpose. I always just straight to the point, but I don't do it in the storytelling way.
Sorry, what do you mean?
Doing the doing in way that is in the telling the story. People are very interested to listen to you.
So that's about. So for you, so let me just clarify, Stan. For you, it's not about. We're not talking about the confidence now. We're talking about how you structure and how you have clarity of what you want to say, and how you get. Okay, so that's one thing. Okay, perfect, good.
For me, I think I don't have a problem to just sit down and talk to others.
Yeah.
But I think I would be more scared if I, like your position, to all the eyes look at me.
Right.
And
Okay.
I'm in the center. And I think
Okay. Let's put these things up there. These little marker hand working. So we'll just put one word. So Stan, you were clarity, right? It's how do you keep clarity? How do you keep focused on what is it that I'm actually trying to say here? For you, Julie, so what you would say it's the spotlight.
Yeah.
As soon as you feel like you've got a spotlight on you.
Yeah.
So if you're just
Like
informally, no, you can talk, you can, that's fine. But the second it's like, oh, I'm presenting.
Yeah.
We were talking about the young chap, Derek, the founder, the co-founder. That's what he said. He said, if I'm just talking informally, I'm fine. The second you give me the microphone, the microphone is like, oh, it's hot. Don't know why I suddenly get afraid. So that's the spotlight, right? You don't like the spotlight. So you need to get better at being comfortable in the spotlight.
Yeah, I think for me it's more the confidence. Maybe it's when I speak, especially with some more people, with other teams and with high managers, and it's the same thing. I need to speak, I need to present, but just simply because some of the important people are there, and I still I started to feel maybe less comfortable, and the voice started to change a little bit, and I myself I can feel the stress and less confident.
Yeah. So it's we'll just put that under confidence, right? And that's what we're always. One thing that we've got to build for ourselves in whatever we're doing is that confidence, right? And public speaking, you definitely need confidence.
I think I also had questions about
like when I do the public speaking, it's more about like a procedure, like you introduce 1, 2, 3, 4, okay, finished. But I want to be like more charming, interesting. People can remember you, not just like procedure things, you know.
So for you, it's clarity and charisma. Charisma, right? You want that charisma. This. Can I put that? Change that to a C letter. Is there everything else? Spotlight.
Center.
So center or RE, whichever way.
I have a C word to contribute.
Yeah.
Concentration.
Concentration.
Yeah.
You struggle with that.
Well, I mainly translate it on stage.
Right.
But I find that sometimes you lose your train of thoughts.
Right.
And then you like get distracted. Something popped into your head and you forgot what you're supposed to say.
That's brilliant. That's a great contribution. Yeah, it's very easy.
Hello.
One of the things, right? So I've got my notes here tonight, guys. So you'll see. So I'll give you an example so that you can see. So I think there's 9 sheets, and I've just done it. I'm old school. I don't like all this technology and AV stuff, clicking through things. I'm just old school. Just stand in front of you and just deliver the workshop. But no, I got my printout. So first one was the trivia. Then it was a little bit about me. Now we're on to an overview of just what is public speaking, what are the challenges, what are the pain points, right, that we suffer when we are. So using that as obviously a real example, Shirley, so you have to come up with your system, right? Just like anything. You have to come up with your system that works for you, to support you, so that if you are speaking in public, like I obviously am tonight, to present this workshop to you guys, what is my system? Well, my system is 1, I know this stuff very well. 2, I've prepared. 3, I've got these. I'm not like trying to give the public speaking workshop to you like this, just reading it out, but I've got them there. You can see that, oh, look, from time to time down to remind myself, give myself that prompt. Then, of course, and we'll get to this, but it's no secret, you have to practice. You have to practice, practice, practice. I'm not as good at public speaking today as you see me. I hope I'm good, right? You look like this guy. I hope I'm okay, but I'm not like this today. I wasn't like this 10 years ago, right? It's, of course, I've practiced a lot. I do a lot of public speaking, so I've gotten a lot better. So you can't just expect to get better overnight, like anything. You can't expect to run one race and be like, Usain Bolt in one time. Like, you have to keep doing it and practicing. So it's all of those things, and we'll come to some of those things as well. Just before we move on, we've got clarity. What am I actually doing here? What am I saying? Confidence. We want to have that. We want to portray that through our body, through the way that we hold ourselves, through the way that we talk. Concentration, actually staying focused, staying in the moment, what we're working on. Charisma. I think at some point I've put a note, sing a Chinese song. Not sure if that's a good idea or not, guys, but we lighten up as well. That comes under charisma, right? Just be relaxed. Just have fun. The thing that I always say, I was hosting a networking event last night. I host regular networking events. Does anyone know the Chinese restaurant Peacock next to the London Eye? Mm-hmm. I do regular events there, regular networking events. I'm saying you got 20 people. It was a very quiet night last night. Normally we get like 30, 40, 50. And 20 people, and we're passing the mic around, and everyone's just like, heck, come on, guys, it's just lighten up, have some fun. It's not, we're all going to die. It's not that serious, So have some fun. Don't take yourself too seriously. Hopefully you guys will sort of observe that in me tonight, that I'm not, it's not that there. We'll have some fun. We'll see what happens. But that's a mindset as well, right? So one of the things that I do outside of events is I'm also a life coach. So I work one-to-one with people to improve their life, their thinking, their mindset, their work, their goals, their things. And these things are all mindsets, right?